Hey everybody, clearing. All right, this is going to be a Spinifera chakra reading. We're going to look at what are the feminines and masculines meant to be focusing on at this time in the connection on all these levels or in their own lives. So thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information coming through. What can we see for the feminines and masculines? Feminines on the left, masculines on the right, and then all the chakra levels in the center here. Let's do the masculine cards. Oh, I do have a few sessions this week, so if you'd like to grab one, there are some left. You can get those through the link below. And let's have a look at this masculine second deck here. I'm being told to shuffle one more time. All right. And then the chakra levels. We're going to look at the Sacred Geometry deck and the Starseed Oracle. I often get questions about these particular cards. That's the Starseed Oracle by Wizard Azanon on Etsy. Okay. And here we go. So, crown chakra. Oh, sensuality. Reminds us that as spirits in human bodies, we are sensual beings experiencing joy and pleasure from the physical world through our senses. All right, so this is, we're being calibrated to divine love and the sensual experience that comes from sacred sexuality. What else? Creation, multiplication, and growth. Ooh, the wave of the future I just heard. So when we're not procreating through lust, survival, templates, convenience, relationships, the kids have a fighting chance. Not that we should be, condemning ourselves for having procreated outside of the ideal. This is saying that if we listen to divine guidance, if we bring even our sensual connections to the Most High, that we will have an exponentially blessed opportunity to really reclaim that sacral chakra for what it was intended for, ecstatic pleasure. Yes, so what are the feminines meant to be knowing about sacred sexuality here? 10 of Orbs and blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being. Wow, heavy hitting right out the start gate. So this is the abandonment wound. Feminine, straight up. If you prematurely open your body or receive a masculine and there is not a foundation in righteousness, a substantial, justified, legitimate connection, and you consummate it sensually, and if it doesn't work out, that's on you. You must take full accountability under heaven with the divine for those things being righteous in order for it to be an ecstatic experience free from pain. The divine has certain templates in this creation that are righteous. If we deviate from those, if we're moving from this abandonment wound, if we don't bring the higher consciousness into it, if we think that sex is just sex, if we lower our standards and allow just anybody into our energy at any developmental stage, and that doesn't work out for us, that is our own accountability. So this is about healthy standards, boundaries, and not coming from this wounding, feminines. That's a big message. So I just want to be really tender, acknowledging that it's okay, whatever has happened. But once you see things on this level, don't do it again. What can we see for the masculines? 10 of Cups, happiness, and 6 of Cups, reunion. So feminines, you have to have yourself at a righteous standard under heaven in order for your sacred union to come in and be everything you both want here. So if you are still allowing your masculine access to your intimate self, then your masculine, if they are not yet you know, come in with the right energy. Don't expect to do the same thing over and over and get different results. This is, you know, your masculine is waiting to give you 10 of Cups happiness, your ideal partner here, when you know your worth. So this is saying that our sensuality is being divinely calibrated right now in the collective, and that these reunions are coming in, and that feminines, the buck stops with you. If your masculine isn't ready or coming to you in the highest frequency, if you don't know what that would be for yourself, you've got work to do so that you know it when you see it. So you know what you're ready for. And this is saying that your masculine wants to meet you in that energy and is becoming ready to see you at that level of worthiness. What can we see on the third eye? Presence. The energy of presence supports our ability to focus our full attention and stay in the here and now. So this is not about the past, it's not about the future, it's about moment to moment presence. And path change, paradigm shifts, adjustments, dimensional planes of perception, number 7. Now that is a crown chakra number as well. So this higher guidance. So when you are present in each moment, you know, collective, where the energy is at and if it's righteous or not, if it is divine or not. What can we see for the feminines here? Seeker of Flames, that's a card of prayer. That is also repentance. This is also forgiveness. This is also giving up the ego. This is asking for divine guidance. And loneliness. I know that I'm never alone. So on the third eye here, feminines, you might be finding themes of letting go of fear of being alone, letting go of fear of becoming too righteous, of outgrowing all the possible partners. Keep letting go of ego. Keep stripping away all of those layers of fear. Really ask if anything you're telling yourself is gaslighting, polarizing, spiraling, downward, suffering. Take it to the divine and ask to be shown why you can just safely let that go and you're never alone, that it's not about you ending up alone. Specifically reclaim your presence so that you shift out of the idea that you might not ever be chosen, or that you might not find somebody who you are attracted to, or that your masculine isn't on this journey or becoming ready, or that this journey has all been wasted. Really work on letting all those go. Masculines, intuition. Okay, ending the burden and Page of Cups. So both have pages here. So there might be a new level of spiritual and sweet messages going back and forth, divinely guided. This can be the beginning of channeling messages to each other that are actually in alignment, heart and soul level here. But masculines are still letting go of burden. So DMs, look at how you can continue to let go of karmic things that are not adding value to your life. Things that you have in the past thought were your character, personality traits that were actually just learned behavior and stereotypical fake masculinity is what I just heard. So let go of all of those unrealistic masks and aspirations and machismo and bravado, all that stuff that isn't actual, genuine, authentic you, and continue coming back into surrendering to the sweetness, the righteousness, the balance. So there's a process happening right now where ego is being released. And it's about shedding all of the fear that keeps us in the past or the future, because we've got this card of presence. So there's a paradigm shift. So if you personally watching this tend to be stuck in the past or overly focused on the future, you know that you're going to need to bring yourself into what's true right now, what resonates right now, what is the righteousness right now, what is my heart telling me right now, masculine and feminine. And let go of everything that does not have relevance when you bring it back to this present moment, when you bring yourself back to center. What can we see on the throat chakra? Intuition. Interesting. So we are bringing this dispersion on the third eye, this coming back to center, using our intuition to bring us back to center. And now we're going to be communicating through the throat chakra about this awareness. The energy of intuition supports our ability to conceive the subtle language of the realms beyond the three-dimensional reality. So this is the sensitivity, the heightened awareness, the clarity, the precision, the accuracy. This is being able to actually find the articulation, the languaging to speak from our knowing, from our intuition, not our overly analytical mind, but our truth. And ceremony, invocation, summoning, spellcraft. So chamber of incantation. So this is setting a proclamation. You could even have a commitment ceremony to following your intuition, to honoring your intuition, to honoring your heart, to setting that as your standard into the world. This can speak of authenticity and dropping the fear to express our truth, to come into the safety. So you can put it out, a declaration to the universe. You can speak it out that you are stepping into alignment with your heart and that expression. How are the feminines experiencing this? Humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. And then we get the Queen of Cups. This is the psychic intuitive. And so this is the intuition. So deep within, you might find that you're funnier than usual, feminines. You might find that you're drawing on a cosmic set of awarenesses to speak out these aha moments that come out in laughter. Humor, again, is when we make connections in our brain that we haven't done before and we laugh. Laughter is the sound of those neurons firing that haven't connected before, those dots connecting. So feminines, there's something about this desire to bring things into the light and be bold about it, unapologetic, that's going to start coming through in humor, because it's not coming through in pouting or woe is me or blame. It's not coming through in flippant, dismissive, fickle energy either. It's coming in belly laughter, genuine, inspired, aha energy. Aha ha 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 ha. Energy. What about for the masculines? Hermit mode and the star. Okay, hermit focuses on the destined path, and the star is that destined path. So there's a deep internal meditation right now, an invitation for you masculines to look at how you've been conducting your lives through the ways of the world and what you've been assuming masculine energy is. And it's time now to drop into your intuition and to include your sacred intuitive aspects that you might have thought were ultra feminine in the past, that you might have thought were too weak. This is not weakness. Intuition is ultimate bravery, because when you attune to your intuition, you are speaking from your most authentic assessment of what is going on. And that is not a mamby-pamby kind of energy. So this is you tapping into knowing your sensitivities are next level, and it's part of your destiny to attune that. It's part of your destined path, your conscious acceptance to tune into those deepest truths and to follow your intuition before it even makes logical sense, to be guided by that knowing, and to start communicating certain things to other people, to your feminine, to your family and friends, colleagues, strangers, anybody that you're speaking to. You can say or not say things based on your intuition. And as you step out of your own fear, you will find that certain things channel through more often. This is prepping you to step more fully into service, into public awareness, into speaking about the things your soul was destined to bring as solutions through your everyday life, masculines. So you can also set a proclamation to the universe that you are going to not hold back your communication, that you're going to let your intuitive insights come out when you're communicating with others, and that even if you don't have analytical proofs or corroborating evidence, that you are being given permission to, through your free will, ask to be guided by the divine when appropriate, applicable, to bring that higher guidance through, that you evoke that by saying yes to this invitation, that you are also being guided to speak from this heart-centered place as a masculine, a divine masculine, that you are being asked to channel that. This is something through this invocation that you, through your free will, have to say yes and evoke. So that's really awesome here, masculines, that you are including this more intuitively guided aspect into your life's work. What can we see on the heart chakra? Freedom. Freedom supports our sense of limitless possibility and potential, boundless expression, and bold exploration. So when you're not so worried about what others would think, and you're not second guessing what you're saying, or, bringing in lighthearted, if you're in the flow, you truly have this heart-centered freedom emerging, and spectrum generator, reprogramming, transmutation, stabilization. When you transmute the fear and you allow yourself this confidence, this flow, this permission to express the heart of love, the righteousness, the true energy that your intuition is guiding you to be aware of, that's like the Holy Spirit coming in and speaking through you, because the Holy Spirit speaks of the highest of loving perspectives into this dimension, and we are channels of that. That is true freedom, because it's life affirming. It never asks you to harm yourself or others. It is solutions based. If we hold that back, we do a disservice to our communities, to our family units, to ourselves, to our partners, to our children. If we allow ourselves to draw from the source of love in the universe and bring that through into real world circumstances, we stabilize the fabric of our communities. And this is about giving ourselves freedom to be, standing up for that into this dimension. How are the feminines being asked to look at this? Surrendering to it and guilt. I release any beliefs that no longer assist my soul's growth. So surrendering to love means having an unconditionality about it. No more guilt about feeling the way you do about your masculine. No more guilt about feeling like you are somehow wrong to be on this journey, or somehow delusional to be on this journey. Surrender to it. Let this journey back you with love. Be grateful for everything. If you're not grateful for some aspects of the journey right now, you are being asked to get that record straight and to find the reasons that all the things you might be gaslighting yourself about not being appropriate, if they are based in love, correct yourself. Stop telling yourself those things have been delusional or a waste of time. Don't believe the devil energies, feminines. And this is about having the freedom to choose the reality you wish to see. It's not likely going to be the norm. And that is an act of radical spiritual freedom, to not believe the devil energies and to proclaim the higher truth. And so embody that, lighten up about it, bring it in humorous ways. It should be the norm. It should not be that we're tiptoeing around wondering if love should be expressed or focused on, or, it's really laughable when we're looking at it that way. Surrender to the love here, feminines. Allow yourself the freedom to celebrate this love. It doesn't need to be owned or possessed or squished into a bite-sized piece. It can be what it is, and you can just accept that that is what it is. You don't have to make more of it. But true freedom comes when you stop suppressing and denying and bullying yourself about it being there. Beautiful. And for masculines, So hang on a second here. So that is, oh, did I miss? Oh, no, I'm just trying to get this. So we now have 1, 2, 3, 4 heart chakra, right? So what do we have here for the masculines? Oh, the Page of Cups for the masculines now. That's interesting. Did we just have that? So we had this for the second time. So the masculines, you are really surrendering to this love. So this freedom to actually fall in love is what I'm seeing here. And 5 of Wands, to fall out of what you thought was love or lust with other directions, those I heard bravado again, that macho kind of fake status, reputation, flexing. You don't need to keep up with those popularity contests and status markers. This is about you dropping into the genuine energy of love and letting everybody else's opinions fall away. Your heart is the only authority that can tell you what is actually your cup of tea in love. And so this is about you just giving yourself full permission to drop into your heart and the freedom to explore the love that has truly found you, that you have been holding back from. What can we see on the solar plexus chakra? Here's the 5th chakra. So we're going to be speaking, this is the throat chakra on the empowerment chakra. So we're going to be speaking this empowered truth. Our intuition is going to be coming through with confidence, because this is the confidence chakra that we're getting this communication on. Throat chakra supports our ability to communicate clearly and truthfully. This empowered, when we are not empowered, we tell people what we think they want to hear. We do things that are not genuine to us. And when we're empowered, our speech, our actions, what we put out into the world is based in that authentic truth. So we've got the intuition and the confidence coming through into the world. That's a beautiful thing to see in this reading. Etheric reflector, spiritualization of matter and reflected light. So this is about you confidently encouraging, collective, the mirror that you see. This is about, bringing out that same permission in others around you, the people you're talking to now come out into the light and start speaking about the things that are affirming the spirit, the soul. In all interactions, normalizing, talking from the depth of the soul. How are the feminines experiencing this? Worry. I'm learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. So not pretending you don't worry anymore. We can eradicate worry and fear, but we also don't have to be bullying ourselves if we have moments of triggering or worrying or concern. We can recognize that as part of change, as part of coming to our truths, as part of our navigation system. Worry is an emotional frequency that does come into play sometimes when we are finding our trajectory. And so it's not always productive to pretend we don't have some concerns. It is realistic to have some concerns in some situations, and we need to learn the difference between actual worry, actual concern, and fictitious concern. So starting to talk about these things objectively will help the collective figure out when it's productive and when it's unnecessary. We have a card of ascension here and all the different possible things that could be identified. In the inverse like this is talking about bringing it back to the most loving, the most life-affirming, the most freeing, the most love-filled way of interpreting things at any given time. So worry is just supposed to be an indicator of what direction we don't want to go in. And that's supposed to redirect us back to something more productive. But if we get into the overwhelm, oh no, I'm worrying, and then spiral in it, it's futile. It doesn't actually help in and of itself. But when we use it as a directive, it does help bring us higher. It can tip us off to something being amiss, and that's when we can say, where did I get off track? How do I redirect? What about the masculines here? And we're starting to encourage, so I'm getting for many feminines, you know this drill, and now it's about helping your fellow humans come up and out of that and learn how to redirect when there's any suffering or lower vibrational emotions, that you can help encourage that those aren't deal breakers or descriptors. Those are actually things that can help us point in the direction we do want to go. But we're not meant to, bow down and worship those things as though they lord over us. We're meant to take cues from them and then point ourselves in a more productive direction. What can we see for the masculines? Ooh, the Devil and the Three of Pentacles, both in the inverse. So this Devil was telling you you didn't have what it takes, you weren't suitable for a divine feminine, that you needed more material wealth, that there were circumstances that were not allowing you to be able to step onto a relationship at this point. This is you, masculines, saying, when I'm empowered, I don't have to hold back because I can trust myself. And that, if your divine counterpart, for instance, is reflecting back consciousness and light, why would that be a bad thing to go towards? So if you are getting the fruits of this empowered consciousness mirrored back by your divine feminine or other people in your life, really look at the energetic truths of what you're engaging with and cease to engage in things that are devil energies and continue investing with empowered connections that are of the light, that are not blaming and projecting and eye for an eye, but those who are on track, productive, wanting progress, team players. You can tell, masculines, and it's time to really go towards the relationships that are good for you and teaching others how to do that as well. So we're getting a very nice message of both the masculines and feminines stepping more fully into teaching and empowered with this light, the spiritualization of matter, reflected light, being the change we wish to see in the world, but seeing that we are going to see in our reality what we are. So this is good news, because counterparts in this collective are going to start seeing the light winning out in the real world more often here and get to be part of that. Beautiful. What can we see on the sacral chakra? Joy. So that's so nice. We saw sensuality on the crown chakra, and we've got in the sacral chakra, we've got this lovely light colored energy here too. Joy activates feelings of happiness and well-being and supports a high vibrational frequency in our being. So this is ecstatic intimacy and setting the calibration for that very pure, sweet, heightened sensory experience. So I'm just hearing that very lusty, animal, passion-driven, sensual energy that lust embodies. This is like heightened, twinkly, cosmic, fine pleasure, guilt-free pleasure. And seal of subtle luminosities. This is an 11 card, discernment, discipline, and order. So this is telling me that the collective has gone full circle into the sensual energies and have seen the dualistic pairs of the purely sexual and the spiritual sexual energies that are of the light and of the illusions. And there is a subtle understanding, and this is why counterparts can merge together sensually, sexually, and have a sustained, pure, righteous, sensual connection, because both are qualified to feel, to observe, to experience what is of the light, what is righteous, and where that deviates. And it is not criticizing people who are into things that some people in society call deviant energy. This is when it is not of value for one or the other, and there is this mutual sacred commitment to staying in this balance together in these unique pairs. So we are honing this ability to keep each other in focus, in balance. This is a very beautiful, deepening energy of teamwork together. How are the feminines experiencing this? 8 of Orbs and failure, both in the inverse. So this is freeing your mind from it being you that was somehow wrong, the one to be blamed. So we got the card of feminines no longer projecting that it was somebody else's fault and now taking accountability. This is also a pair of cards that says you don't have to carry that feeling of unworthiness. Free your mind from thinking that you've somehow been the reason that your connection has failed. That's an illusion. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. Free your mind from thinking that if you've ever screwed anything up in this connection or done something regrettable, that was it, that you've lost it. This is saying, bring the joy back in, because all of these developmental awarenesses were so you could protect this joy and anchor this joy and know the subtle differences that cause you to be able to attune to the frequency of ecstasy guilt-free. So free your mind. It's not been a failure. Nothing's been a failure here. What can we see going forward with the masculines? Victory, Ace of Wands. These masculines are keeping it in check right now, keeping their sensual desires in check because they want this ultimate victory. So, yesterday's reading, I heard in the comments a lot of people taking the title the wrong way. Now, the masculines in yesterday's reading, they are aware of wanting to do this in an impeccable, righteous way. They want to kick off these relationships on a firm foundation. They don't want to be premature with, cheapening it in any way. And they have been listening to external guidance. And the only reason that guidance in yesterday's reading was wrongful advice is because the masculines, it's starting to become closer to the time when they are truly ready to initiate these connections, and those externalized advices are becoming ever so slightly less important as the masculines come more fully into their own. I do think that all of the advice that we evoke around us is a reflection of where we're at. So if we are drawing certain kinds of advice from those around us, there is something to it that we can take responsibility for because it's in our vicinity. We've asked for it. Maybe we haven't asked for it, but it's showing up as a pattern. That means there is some merit, that it is still connected with the developmental energy that we currently have. That doesn't mean it's a definite forever kind of thing. It's all developmental stages. So these masculines are becoming more sure of the purity that can be found in the intimate connection for real. You divine feminines are the one feminine so far in these masculines' lives that they see as actually having the potential to be faithful in a true divine monogamous relationship. And so they are able to wait. I heard for marriage, they're able to wait for it to be appropriate and not be leading with the wand here. This is giving waiting for marriage kind of vibes. So to truly have the be-all end-all intimate connection, there is this modesty, but there is this righteousness that the masculines know it's going to be up to them to bring this promise forward, to bring this invitation forward, to propose. This can be a proposal. Typically, it's the masculine riding in from war with this wreath laurel wreath to crown the bride to be. So the masculines want to withhold this phallic wand and come in and make this offer. So feminines, it's not that you have been wrong, but you may have felt friend zoned or rejected by this masculine because your masculine has not wanted to tarnish your name, I just heard, and has wanted you to know your worth, that you are not just a sex object, that you are not just something to use that way, to have respect, to have honor, and to give your masculine the opportunity to honor your good name is what I'm hearing. Wow. So this is the joy, you know, everything that you have felt rejected or failed for in your history, feminine, is actually not been. Rejection is divine protection, because realistically, ultimately, these subtle calibrations are making way for sensual joy, and that means guilt-free. I'm going to say that again. Beautiful. What can we see on the root chakra? Wow, duality and the yin-yang. Duality supports our ability to gracefully flow with the everlasting movement among all opposites. So this is where the two can come together and create a perpetual motion machine. And we're getting... Wow, I'm being called to get 3, 4. All right. So we get Temple of the Moon Goddess, emotional transparency, nurturance, and grace. So the two clicking together and now having this trust and love that allows for emotional transparency. And I saw it's Temple of Eventual Destinies, benevolence, spiritual progression, enlightenment. We're not at odds. We are two perfect counterparts that when we purify, we snap together perfectly here in unison, unity conscious, seal of evolutionary colors, progressive awareness, multidirectional change. So this is the teamwork coming in and letting it unfold naturally, spiral of life, movement, opening, unfolding. So when there is this trust, we get, you know, the yin yang is this toroidal spin. On the root chakra here, we have the two coming together effortlessly because we've both learned how to balance out more and more and to come into this authentic transparency, the safety, the trust, the love. I'm hearing with this eventual destinies that it's been a time release, that it has been right on track, perfect developmental stages. It's been cosmic, it's been collective, it's been personal, it's a fractal, and it's been building to this threshold where we're starting to actually become savvy and aware of it consciously more and more in this reflected light experience all around us. Beautiful. What are the feminines seeing here? The Hanging Man. So this is the yes or no. So you might be feeling that you have simplified your dualistic, we've got the duality here, your options, feminines. There might be a should I or shouldn't I kind of essential awareness here for decision making. So if it's not this simple and casual, then keep growing and evolving so that your decision making can be this much in flow, that can simply be a yes or a no. Is it a yes or a no for me? And your whole mind, body, and soul will resoundingly say yes or no. We've been calibrating our ability to tell if something is of the light or not, wholeheartedly. And so feminines, yes, including this level of love and trust, self-love and trust make up your inner masculine and feminine. And when you are in wholeness like that, decision making is very in flow. And we also get fear in the inverse. I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. Everything is about love or fear. And so this is about you being able to choose the loving awareness, the path, the choice in every thought, every action you take, in every moment, in every day. And when you're not being overpowered by the fear, you can resoundingly choose the love time after time, and then you live in a whole new dimension, feminines. What can we see for the masculines? The reunion and the Page of Pentacles. So the masculines, you are getting ready to offer more physical shared time together. This is the masculines putting the feelers out for the coast being clear to actually see you more often in the physical, in the ways that can authentically begin to deepen this soul connection. Interesting. That's going to differ for every scenario because there are varying degrees of how often you communicate or see each other or are able to see each other in the physical. But there is a preparation here where masculines, you're starting to affirm the kindness that's going to set the stage for a deepening of the physical interactions. Here is what I'm getting, this reunion energy, the playful energy that's going to be coming in for your relationship here. How beautiful. Okay, let's get one message from the feminines to the masculines. Oh, Ace of Cups. I love me, so I love you. What can we see for the masculines to the feminines? Be more selfish. So masculines really want to know what you want, how you're thinking, how you're feeling. Take them out of the picture. They want to know, if it was all up to you, what would be the best case scenario for your next steps in your life. This is like vulnerable shares, that emotional transparency. Like, what does your heart, no wordy, fearful kind of shares. Essentially, what is it? What do you really want, feminines? The masculines want you to really get in touch with what that is, because, you know, if it's your masculine, that's the place they want to meet you at. That's what they want to provide and protect and initiate in your connection. How beautiful. Okay, many blessings, everyone. Bye for now.